What's going on, world? This is another installment of What Will It Take? Now that I see my shirt in the picture, I guess I should give you a full preview. As you can see, I'm talking about Have a Nice Days. I'm an advocate of legalizing marijuana. You know what I'm saying? You should get on it too. Not in terms of even it being a recreational thing, but really in terms of making money and based on scientific evidence. But that will be another rant for another day. I was like, but what I want to talk to you about today is something that's kind of happening imminently in the news right now, which is about unemployment insurance, extended unemployment insurance. Now, I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with the differences in the system, but me being recently unemployed, I'm becoming more and more accustomed to some of the system and what the sort of nuances of it are. So it splits into systems. So there's a state and a federal system. And what they did with the recession that's happened is that they realized that unemployment is at record levels. So they extended it up to, I believe, 99 weeks. So the first 6 months, it's a state system. Then it switches to the federal unemployment insurance, the EUC. And then it goes back to the state, and then it goes back to the federal. And then it ends. So there's an end date. There's a cutoff date. With the sequester that happened last year, the unemployment benefits were cut by 10.7% for the federal levels. So this program is designed for those people that are long-term unemployed. And if anyone has been following any research on the long and short-term unemployed, they follow different curves. While this nation has made some recoveries, despite the fact that unemployment is still teetering on 7%, and they've never reduced any unemployment gaps when employment has been above 7%, but this seems to be a special instance for some reason. But right now, the tier of short-term unemployment is kind of going down. But the long-term unemployment, about people more so that are more highly skilled, that are looking to replace jobs that were either outsourced or reduced, that were more higher paying, and then they have to sort of enter into a job market where the jobs that are being replaced are lower paying, and just not comparable, and really not even using the skill sets that their previous employers required. So it's a completely different shift, and it's a real practical explanation. If let's say someone was making $75,000 a year at a position, and their job, for let's say they lost some grant funding, medical research funding for the grant, and now they have no job. They've been furloughed. So with them losing medical research, more than likely most medical research is also slowing down, because that usually happens in times of affluence. So you're really not going to have any jobs in medical research. And let's say there may be lower level jobs that are maybe $40,000 a year. But if you're a person that has been working for 10, 15 years in the same job around the same salary level, and you're faced with a position where you could make more on unemployment than you could working a full-time job that's not allowing you to pursue your education, that's not allowing you to, really even work or find the job that's suitable. And then you'll be in a position where you're kind of money hungry, where you would leave that job as soon as you found something that paid you slightly more. So it doesn't really work out for anyone. So that long-term employment, about finding jobs that truly supplement and are replacement for long-term employment, is extremely important. And what Congress did the other day was basically sell out over 1 million American families. Instead of closing one tax loophole for corporations that are making billions of dollars, corporations are making record profits right now. So why on earth are we still giving them tax subsidies and giving them tax breaks and loopholes, but in the same breath saying that we cannot afford to give unemployment insurance to the long-term unemployed, which all studies show trends are going up? And then, in addition to the fact that it doesn't make any rhetorical sense, is that the timeliness of it is beyond insensitive. So you're going to cut off extended unemployment insurance literally 3 days after Christmas. Literally 3 days after Christmas, while Congress goes on vacation. Congress is going on a 3-week vacation. So there's not even an ability to come back and vote on the issue. They ended it. and just left 1 million American families vulnerable and gave them a 2-week time period to even prepare. So if you're expecting to have holiday spending, you're expecting to try and go back to school, find a job, let's say you had plans, you know what I'm saying, to really start school next semester, you now can't do that because they decided to make a political stance with you. For what purpose? It's not helping. It's really not saving any money. The program is not creating a dependency, and it already has an end date. But they're just allowing this issue to happen. And quite frankly, people aren't making enough noise about it. I'm sure all of you know at least one person that's unemployed. I'm sure you know people that have been looking for jobs forever. I'm sure you know even people that are young people entering the job market that can't even find jobs that use the skills that they spent so much time in college and grad school working. So why aren't we saying anything? Why aren't we doing something? Get up, call your congressman, write him a letter, email him, do something to help somebody. And we're not even thinking about the long-term effects, with the unemployment. So let's talk about not even that 1 million families that you're hurting. Let's talk about the economy. Those families were probably going to spend some money on the holiday season. The statistics show that most people in long-term employment were making over $50,000 a year, and they had families. So more than likely, they were spending Christmas. So what do you think they're going to do if their income stability is rocked? They are going to go on super save mode, so they're not spending. So they're not out spending that money into the economy, helping create jobs, helping to create GDP growth, and helping to make this holiday season, sort of an economically fruitful one, which is what most businesses do. They rely on this fourth quarter to represent, basically salvaging their whole year. So for a political point, we're ruining the economy on several levels. And I think all it does, at least it requires you to sit there and just pick up your smartphone and just figure out who your congressperson is and just say something. Statistics prove that if you contact a congressperson at least 12 times, independently, let's say 12 different people contact their local representative about their issue, that they're more likely to vote on that issue the way that you have encouraged them to. So I'm just saying, let's give this a chance to work and be upset about something enough to do something. We see people on the other side very upset and very willing to sort of put the whole country at risk for their benefit. So can we at least do something that will help the country and show as much passion as people would to try and hurt the country? Until next time, this is Jason.